Hello Factorio people, welcome back to the broadcast from Space Age. A semi-streamlined playthrough, walkthrough, tutorial, let's play, long play. My name is Fenton, I am behind on videos. I'm sorry, I'm behind. I don't know, I've been working a lot. I'm moving house, as you may or may not know. They dropped a Monster Train 2 demo out of freaking nowhere, so that was my morning. I sleep for 12 hours a day. I'm chronically lazy. I'm obsessed with Riichi Mahjong at the moment. You know, lots of excuses for you, lots of excuses. So, but here we go. I've played some Factorio. I can't promise I've played a lot. So this may be a quote-unquote short one, he says, and he always says that and then ends up being an hour long anyway. So if you want to do the old like, comment, subscribe for me, that would be great, and we'll jump straight into it, shall we? We're on Vulcanus, doing the legendary stuff. Quick recap, we got legendary stuff. I briefly mentioned last time that I thought the plan was going to be that we would do legendary sciences and stuff here. I do think that is probably a good idea, to just get the 6 Navi sciences made here in legendary form. But I'm going to put that off for a little bit, because I've got a different idea, had a different idea. And that different idea came from when I was thinking about whether I want to be bothered making rocket parts from legendary items, because that actually gets you no benefit at all. Rocket part productivity 6 researched. Your processing units, your low density structures, they go into your rocket parts. There they are. Rocket parts, no quality benefit whatsoever to them. They don't have like built-in productivity or anything like that, so there's actually no need to do it. So I thought, well, maybe we could ship around rocket parts, have one big ship that just sends the rocket parts everywhere. And the benefit of that is twofold really, is because our planets are sort of all beholden to the idea that we did them all from nothing, right? So we came to Gleba with nothing and we did everything we needed to do to launch a rocket. If we want to upscale Gleban science, we don't want to have to focus on also making sure we've got iron, copper, plastic. You know, if we want to upscale Gleban science, we want to literally just make bioflux for nutrients, pentapod eggs, and make loads of agricultural science packs out of that. We don't want to then have to faff around with sending it all down here, making copper, bacteria, making, you know. Same on Vulcanus. Even though Vulcanus is irrelevant because we've got the legendary bus. But, you know, like same on Vulcanus. We did exactly the same. Green circuits into red circuits, into processing units, low density structures, all of that stuff, just to launch a few rockets so we can get out of here and say that we came to Vulcanus with nothing. So it occurred to me that on Fulgora it's actually very easy to get an absolute preponderance of all of the stuff you need to make rockets. You get processing units for free out of the scrap. You get low density structures for free out of the scrap. You get solid fuel for free out of the scrap, and you get infinite heavy oil from the ground, which you just then turn into light oil with a bit of ice, which you also get in high quantities from, spoiler alert, the scrap. So that is the long-term plan now, is to have one ship that is completely full to the brim with processing units, low density structures and rocket fuel that flies around and drops it all off everywhere. And then we can think about, you know, actually tearing all of Gleba down and building it from scratch with legendary items in legendary qualities, and we'll do it like that. Okay? So how on earth do we make headway towards that end goal? Good question. The first thing we should really do is upscale the military science so that it is in line with all of the other sciences on Nauvis, because we'll want lots of science ticking over in the background while we do all of these things, and military science was the one thing that wasn't keeping up. It was not too taxing. legendary prod modules, legendary speed modules, increase the speed of everything that's being made. The only thing that this affected was, as you can see, coal into the grenades is now more than half of a blue belt. But that's very easily fixed by just replacing the miners with big mining drills, because big mining drills stack their outputs anyway. So we will take this from a mere one blue belt of coal to 4 blue belts of coal effectively. So let's just take... No, that's not right. Let's do some actual build on the stream, shall we? I need to... In the blueprint book we have the episode where we went to Vulcanus for the first time. There it is. Tileable big mining. Let's put it... Ooh, let's put it there. Click, drag, 1, 2, 3, easy. Easy as you like. Upgrade all the belts to blues. We're just going to keep blues on now these for a little bit. And we need a 1 to 6 splitter, I suppose. Or a 6 to 1 splitter, if you want to actually use the correct numbers. So we're doing all this remotely, of course. I am still stood on Vulcanus. I'm just showing you that, you know, we have the infrastructure and all of that stuff to get this done. To get this done remotely. This is all ticking over nicely. We just need to hook this up to the power and also make sure it is within decent Roboport range. And there we go. That's coal sorted. Which will affect grenades, which will affect military science. So military science is now... I don't know why I stuttered so badly there, sorry. Military science is going alright. We're just doing things like railgun damage to help doing our expeditions out to the Shattered Planet. I've been grinding mining productivity in the background for a while until I got bored of that. Mining productivity 34 puts our mining productivity 330%. Plus the built-in, you know. Here it all comes. Isn't that a glorious sight? Isn't that a glorious sight? So that's nice. Yeah. Space science is, of course, not keeping up. Good old Bronze Star here. Back from the early days. Still ticking over. And it was kind of working just because we weren't using space science that much, but, you know, now we're actually using it in vast quantities. Well, higher quantities. We need to do something about little old Bronze Star as well. But while I was working on that, the Prometheum asteroid collecting ship returned with wowzers, over 2,000. I've decided I'm going to do this with the eggs. I went backwards and forwards in different ways, like, oh, maybe I should just have the request only be for, like, a really small number of eggs. But that wasn't really working. You need quite a lot of eggs. Research productivity 6 is finished. Thank you. Let's do another level while we're here. Research productivity 8 will get us. We'll already be on... Oh, wow. Where is it on this screen now these days? Don't come into this screen very often these days, even though there are a lot more bonuses to look at. You've probably seen it a long time ago. There it is. 60% inherent productivity. So that's good. 60% more science per science. So, the rocket silo takes a signal from orbital requests. If the ship needs eggs, this inserter works and puts them into the chest. When there is not a request for eggs, this inserter removes them from the chest so they can be put back into the system to be recycled, causing there to not really be any waste or issues with eggs sat in a box for too long. So that's good. On the ship, if... Last time, this is a little discovery I've made. This may not surprise anybody at all. Last time I said, oh, there's no way to read the stop that you're at. That's not true, it turns out. If you connect the circuit condition to the space platform hub and you tick both read moving from and moving to, the moving from signal has a status of 1, or a value of 1. The moving to signal has a value of 2. When you're stopped at a platform, these are both true, and therefore you have a value of 3. If you're stopped at a planet, those two signals combine to add up to 3. And so you can read the status of the planet that you're physically stopped at by reading that as a 3. So whenever we're not stopped at Nauvis, doesn't matter whether we're moving to it or moving from it, as long as we're not stopped at Nauvis, this value will not be 3, and as such we can throw all of the eggs into the recycling. And then there are a few backup lasers here just in case. Just in case, you know? And this should not be as high as 500. This should be 100, and then when there are less than 100, deliver a new 500. Or otherwise, yeah. So that works very, very well. The next thing I want to do is I want to get more Prometheum science, Prometheum asteroid chunks on the belt. I know there's lots of stuff you can do with belt weaving, cursed belt weaving, you know, like if you've got... there's plenty of blueprints online, but we'll do it on Vulcanus, seeing as we're here. If you've got various different colours of belts, there is a special magic thing you can do to make them align. You know, if we just pick up all of this. Cannot reach. You know, yellow ones reach this distance, and then red ones reach... Every time I say reach, I think of Reach from Reachy Mahjong. The Reach from Reachy Mahjong, Simpsons me. You know, you can get your red ones to do. I haven't played with it myself personally. I've seen it done. You can see here that it's not as simple as just, you know, doing this, but the idea is that you can store many more items per tile, because like at one point you may have all 4 different colours of belts going under one square. I've not done that. I've done the simple, stupid man's version of that, which is this. Which is the same principle, but this tile has, this one tile here, for example, has the 8 squares of the belt, this underground and this underground. So one item that goes in here cycles up, goes all the way underneath this once, comes back around, goes all the way underneath it twice, and then comes out of this, cycles all the way around it a 3rd time, and then moves on. So this is triple efficiency. You can do much better than that. I can't remember exactly how high you can get that number. Are you keeping an eye on that inserter? Because I've lost it. It's like whack-a-mole. Where is it? It's on me! It just came out of the thing. There we go. So this is triple size efficiency. It's not the best you can do, but it's more than enough for what we want at the moment. Didn't want to spend hours or copy a blueprint. I thought they'd change that to make the your house robots not fly a million miles if your personal robots can do the job. Okay, so yes, so this is very good. We'll as soon as this belt is empty, we'll change this. We'll get a bit more storage for the things, and we'll just let this ship go to and from. This is fully automated. Oh, except for I want to change the filters on this to be Prometheum when we're moving to the shattered planet. Because otherwise it doesn't pick up enough Prometheum, it picks up too much of the other stuff. But that's good. This ship design is in the episode... Hello? Oh, of course, right there, literally Promethean ship. The updated design for this is in the episode 21 blueprint, Promethean ship. It has the spirally thing there. Couldn't quite squeeze another one in there, which is a shame. But whatever. This is good. This is good. Okay, right. Let's move on. What I thought I would test in terms of space science is using the legendary asteroid farm design, which we know works quite well in terms of getting legendary asteroid chunks out and using those ingredients to make legendary space science packs. And this was a little experiment to start with, to see if we could get enough asteroids to do that, and we can. It actually works very, very well. One productivity module space science pack making legendary, 236. But each legendary science pack is worth 6 times the value. So this is loads. And then all we've got here is the same. You remember the original design before we split these up into each one being unique? It's roughly the same. Except we also have a... Because when we're orbiting Nauvis, we won't find many ice chunks. And we also won't get as many ice chunks as we go to and from whichever planet we want. We'll only get those on the way to Aquilo properly. But Aquilo we'd need missiles, and this isn't done for missiles. So we've got a simple circuit condition here that if there is more than 5 of a particular metallic asteroid or carbonic asteroid, we repurpose them and hope to get some more ice ones out of it. Because we'll have so much of this, and so much of this, but we won't have that much ice. This is ticking over very nicely. This is full of... This has currently got 3,300 legendary space science packs, which is the equivalent of 18, 19, 800... Yeah, about 20,000 space science packs. And it has been running for just over an hour at an average of 100 a minute. 90 a minute times 6, 540 a minute. But with a big gap in between, you know, like, it's working. It is working. It's very good. It's actually surprisingly good. Is this in the blueprint book? No, it isn't. What? A turret just ran out of ammunition? Oh yeah, I do need to fix that. Yes, this is the follow-on issue from that. Let me just quickly add this to the blueprint book before I forget. We're doing it live, folks. We're doing all this stuff live today. How do I play Factorio? I've completely forgotten. Copy. Book. 2. In. Rename. Bronze Star 2. Space Science. Legendary Space Science icon. There we go. Hopefully that's useful to you. In removing Bronze Star 1, Bronze Star the First was also farming our calcite, if you remember. And as such, we are no longer getting calcite drops to Nauvis because we turned off the Vulcanus calcite requesting. Why on earth are you waiting for stack inserters? We didn't turn off the Vulcanus calcite requesting, but we don't prioritize it either. So if this ship is sat here with its 8,000 metallurgic science packs and we're not researching anything that needs orange science packs, no more calcite makes its way into the system. We were heavily reliant on the first Bronze Star for calcite, and if I'd have realised that, I would have maybe done something a bit more efficient here. You know, might repurpose some generic asteroids to send the calcite, because the old design just throws the calcite away that we don't need on these travelling to and fro ones. We're wasting a lot of calcite. And the same on these ships. Some of the calcite goes in, but we don't prioritise it because we prioritise the ice. The calcite is just like an overflow. We need it, but we need the water more than we need the calcite. If you've got the calcite, then you are by definition getting the water. And you get more than enough calcite to do the advanced fuel processing. But you need to keep the water cycling because you need the water for power on this ship design. So this is a lot of waffle, basically, to just say that we need to change this to be go to Vulcanus. Sorry, no, go to Vulcanus when you have no space science or no calcite. And if that means that the science pack production halts for just a moment, that's fine, because it would halt anyway without the calcite. So if you leave this running for long enough, especially as you're researching all of the science, you completely dry up on quite a lot of stuff. Quite a lot of stuff, especially when you're building more space platforms as well. Because let's not forget that these space platform foundations are extremely greedy on the steel. Uh-oh. Oh god! Oh, jeez, that was flipping close. Yeah, you're stopped at Vulcanus because you're full of calcite, but you don't have any ice. So this should be an ore as well, really. And then we need something to do with all this legendary calcite. I mean, I know I just talked about what we're going to do with calcite, but this is legendary calcite. It might be that we do the same thing that we've done with the carbonic one, where we only get the water should we have... Is that right? You get... Oh, God. Yeah, so don't send the ship out when none of the turrets have ammo. That was not smart. Do something about that. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. This is fine. This doesn't happen in my other playthrough. I fixed this before. My other save files. Yeah, it might be. The beeping is super annoying, my dudes. This ship is not going to make it, is it? It's not going to last. Well, it might make it to Nalvis, I suppose. If we use the generic oxide asteroid chunk recipe, we get 5 ice but no calcite, so we probably will have to do the same thing that we've done with the carbonic one on this one. We need to say that we need to, if we've got enough calcite, just get the ice. Just do the ice. Because otherwise this is just going to fill up with calcite and we won't have any ice, and we'll, you know. And as we can tell, they need to keep moving backwards and forwards. If they don't move backwards and forwards, then they run out of ammo as they're hovering around Vulcanus. And then they perish. Although it somehow did make it. So that's funny. Alright. This is a lot of bootstrap work just for the plan. But it needs to be done. It needs to be done. I added quality and efficiency modules to this design because we can very easily make all of the circuits and not, you know, it's very efficient to do it like this. We can fill, and I've done this for the quality modules especially because the new plan is to not have the quality modules being made on Fulgora. We will just send legendary quality module 2s to Fulgora, and then Fulgora will have the superconductors, because obviously superconductors can only be made... Is that true? Superconductors can only be made on Fulgora. I thought that was true. Is that not true? Made an electromagnetic plant, but it doesn't say that it should be... Have I gone this whole time thinking that superconductors need to be made on Fulgora? What else has to be made? What else? Well, they don't have to be made, do they? No intermediate has to be made. Except for space. Except for Prometheum science, right? Yeah, crafting surface conditions. Alright, we'll do it the other way around then. I mean, that's good to know. I'll send legendary holmium plates to Vulcanus to make those quality things, but not even electrolyte needs it. Alright, that's confused me. I don't know where I got that idea in my head. Anyway, and also I've done electric engine units and regular engine units, which needed a bit of lubricant, which needed me to make sure that heavy oil was also enough here, because even though engine units and electric engine units aren't, you know, engine units go into pumps, which, you know, it's nice to have high quality pumps, I suppose. High quality trains don't do anything, it's not like they go faster. Same with the cars. Obviously we'll need them for legendary chemical science later down the line, and then the same with electric engine units. We need them for, mostly we need them for robot frames. I'm thinking legendary robot frames into legendary construction robots and logistics robots will be something that we probably want. But of course we also need them for utility science packs. So we may as well make them here and put them on the bus. Because the idea is that this this mall will go away and become a legendary items mall, and Vulcanus will become our new Nauvis, basically. In theory. In theory. And then the same on Nauvis, right? We can tear everything down that doesn't help us just make sciences. See, I've not fixed the calcite here yet. I haven't yet noticed that the calcite is a problem, and as such we are completely out of iron. Okay, so I am actually on my way to Fulgora. I have, on my person, a legendary Mark II power armor. I made the brief mistake of thinking that this would be an upgrade to the mech armor purely because all I did was I looked at the equipment size grid. And this mech armor we've got on us is standard quality, so it's 10 by 12, whereas a legendary power armor Mark II is 15 by 15. And I thought, oh, a legendary power armor is better than mech armor. But of course, mech armor also lets you fly, which you kind of forget about as a bonus. Really, you become so used to it that you forget that that's not just a thing that happens to you. So really, we need legendary mech armor as well, which means we're going to need processing units we can get easily, holmium plates we've got, superconductors and supercapacitors. Apparently we'll make wherever we flipping like. But we will need the electrolyte, which will need holmium solution, which will need holmium ore. But we've got so much holmium ore. I'll think about exactly where I'm going to make that stuff. So let's drop to Fulgora and send the armor down as well. And think about what we're going to do here. Nice. Man, not been on Fulgora in ages. The music is so good here. No, I'm not just padding the video's runtime. How dare you? How dare you imply that? A long time ago we put quality modules in the superconductor thing to just farm some. It did not really pay off that well. It did not really do what we wanted, but, you know. We're building more ships. We kind of want more ships. I've built an entire second copy of the Aquilo shuttle. Because as we are using more Aquilo science, what's it called? Cryogenic science, especially in the research productivity and other things that we want. Rocket part productivity is very good. Railgun shooting speed is very good. It helps our ship, Shattered Planet ship, become more defensible. Just the one ship, just the one Aquilo shuttle, because the Aquilo shuttle has to go everywhere, right? It has to pick up a whole bunch of stuff from various different planets to take to Aquilo to make the stuff that we want, and of course the pick up the cryogenic science packs on the way back. And of course we don't make rocket components here either. And this plays into the idea of having a different ship, but even just the one Aquilo shuttle was not flying around as quickly as I would like it to. It's got to go from Nauvis to either Gleber or Fulgora and then to Aquilo, a round trip of 90,000 kilometers round trip. If you're going to say round trip, actually use the correct sum at the end. So we will eventually change this when we build the rocket ship ship. You know, we won't need to worry about taking processing units, low density structures. We make the rocket fuel on site. We probably don't need to worry about heat pipes anymore. You know, we'll need to sort this out. Basically, we'll need to sort this out. But it is being built, and this is where I was like, why on earth am I not getting these things? Why are these things not coming? So then I go to Nauvis. I have just fixed it. I have just fixed it in this version of the save file, but you can see this iron is only just making its way to the end of the bus. The calcite issue is now solved. Well, it should have been. Yeah, just about. The Vulcaner shuttle is getting lots of calcite. And also, I did make a small change on at least one of these ships, I thought. Oh, yeah, so I am going to start chucking ice, just so that extra calcite can go into these frigates as they go to and from their planets and back to Nauvis with the science. So I will do that. I don't know if that will really make that much of a difference, but I wanted to try it, and it'll future-proof the ships for next design. How's Bronze Star 2 doing? Bronze Star 2 is out of ice, but it also still has a lot of space science in it. So, are we using any space science at the moment? No, we're not. Okay. And asteroid farming is... Oh, it's back. It's back again. You can see I changed this belt design ever so slightly just because two bulk inserters were not cutting it. 3 aren't even cutting it, really. But this issue will solve itself when we make the legendary mall on Vulcanus. We'll just turn these into legendary stack inserters. And then one legendary stack inserter will do the job of... What's that? 3 times. Yeah. You know. But it's working very well. It's working very well. I'm very happy with it. It every now and then somehow manages to take a bit of damage. I'm not entirely sure how. And it has happened less since we researched a few more levels of laser weapons damage, railgun shooting speeds. Haven't done any more explosive damage ones just because 64,000 Gleben science at this point is a bit much. It's a bit much. But it was more, yeah, we did some more laser weapons damage. Because we've got all 6 of these sciences now being made at high volumes. I neglected to mention that I did also improve utility science in the generic way, just added prod modules and speed beacons to it, so this is also up to 500 a minute. Which did cause a slight drain on processing units, which I have since fixed. And it's still causing a slight drain on low density structures, but not as badly. That's also mostly because we're using a lot of steel for this bulk of space platform foundations, because we built like a lot of ships in the last 5 hours of gameplay. So it's fine. It is actually fine. Okay, so also, I don't remember if I mentioned this before, I left quality accumulators running here just as for something to do with the scrap, and we got quite a decent chunk of them, which is nice. 2.5 times the 6 times the energy capacity with an accumulator. This one accumulator is 6 accumulators, if you can believe it. But this whole mess here, I'm happy that it worked in the way that I wanted it to work. I'm happy that we farmed a whole bunch of epic and legendary quality modules. But we're past the point of needing this now. So, and I thought I'd do this on camera just because it's very satisfying. We'll turn off the miners. What's the best way to do that? Let's just demolish them. Oh, I don't have any construction robots on me. Personal logistics on. Does anyone find this now completely useless? What? Like, you've got to... If you have a whole bunch of personal logistics, but you're moving planet to planet... Maybe I just am moving from planet to planet too much. Maybe that's not the intended way to do it. You have to turn this off before you go into space, because... if you turn it on, if it's on, you're trying to get rid of all your stuff, it just comes back, right? It's just like, right, let's go into space. And it just comes back. So you have to turn it off, which means I really can't be bothered to put anything that's not construction robots in there. because I can do everything remotely anyway. It's only when I'm somewhere like this. Right, so we'll turn the scrap off. We'll let the scrap run its course, and then we'll just literally tear this whole thing down. And we'll use this space. I was going to start a third space. My initial thought was to start a third space, like maybe use this 47 million scrap. And I thought, no, we don't need the legendary. We don't need quality modules being made like this anymore. The era of upcycling is at an end, folks. The YouTube compression algorithm is going to absolutely hate this. We'll use this space, we'll repurpose this space for farming the rocket parts that we want. We got, what's this, 2,000 holmium plates just from upcycling electromagnetic plants, completely at random. This will be the de facto way of getting legendary holmium plates, but this will require a whole build. This was just sort of a set it and forget it option. Look at that legendary stack it bulk inserter go. Do it again, mate. Do it again. Nice. It hasn't got any holmium because the bottleneck was this holmium plant after all, and I just turned all the stuff off to make it. So we'll repurpose this in a meaningful way. And this will be where we get all of the rocket parts from, henceforth. Hopefully. Hopefully. 4 rocket silos, Jeremy. 4. You're insane. This makes rockets very quickly. Rocket fuel we need to make from solid fuel, water, and the heavy oil from the ground, but that's fine. We got loads of that. Absolutely loads of that. The rest of it, the rest of the stuff, we don't really need it here. We don't really need it here. So, rather than continuing to just process scrap ad infinitum, we still have the get rid of the excess plan here. This one turns out is not necessary. We still have the plan to get rid of the excess, just because we will always have some excess with this system. Mostly iron gear wheels. But if all of this space is going to be doing is hoarding processing units, low density structures and rocket fuel to send around the solar system, we can in fact stop scrap from processing should we have more than a defined number of... I should have this as a constant with a constant combinator, to be honest with you. That's bad programming, that one's on me. This should be a variable that I can set somewhere else easily, rather than having to change 4 different variables. But, you know, anyway. So if we've got enough ice, processing units, low density structures and solid fuel, we will, by definition, have enough to send a lot of stuff into space, which we can then just send around the solar system. And then we don't have to process the scrap. I did use the legendary accumulators and stuff here just because I put the speed beakers in here, so this was using a decent amount of electricity, but, you know, with these epic accumulators that are worth 5 and these legendary ones that are worth 6, this is a lot of electricity here, a lot. So that's good, that's nice. So that's the plan. That is the plan. I don't know if I ever mentioned this. I put 2 more nuclear fuel plants down a little while ago, just because at one point 765 megawatts, almost a gigawatt there. At one point I was vaguely concerned about it, and I just thought, well, the bus, you know, we make enough to plop that blueprint down, so let's just plop it down twice and be done with it. And in doing so, I completely broke this sulfuric acid pipe. And I only noticed when I was doing something else and these 2 belts were empty of uranium. So I put the blueprint down and I just mixed up this belt with this belt, and, you know, so that's funny. So if you noticed that and you didn't tell me, then good for you for holding your tongue. But that's fixed now, so you can also rest easy. Alright, one last thing then. One last thing in this vaguely shorter episode than usual. We will use the frigate design, which we know works very well. We'll repurpose the frigate design, and this will be our rocket part delivery ship. 3,000 processing units. That's 10 rockets worth. 3,000 low density structures is 15 rockets worth, and this is 30 rockets worth. So, what did I just say? 10, 15, and 30. 55 rockets to launch, but that will get us so many rockets. So many rockets basically everywhere else. So we're on 120% rocket part productivity, because these have inherent productivity from the research we've been doing, and 60% productivity from the beacons. These can launch rockets. Probably too fast. I probably didn't even need to put this many speed beacons down. Somebody did very helpfully leave a comment a little while ago letting me know what the maximum effective crafting speed of a rocket silo can be before it's too fast to, you know, you're bottlenecked by the animation of it. So this will launch a lot of rockets. Even this, at 2.4 crafting speed, is not using one processing unit a second, but it's making 1.76 rocket parts a second. So, yeah, this will be a lot of rockets, and then that means we can go through all of the ships and clean up their shuttle request things, especially the Aquilo ones, right? The Aquilo ones probably... I mean, they're going to Aquilo anyway, and they're going to other places anyway, but it still might be prudent to just take the low-density structures and the processing units off this, because the processing units don't go into... Oh, they go into cryogenics plants, so maybe we should look at that. But the point is that now we've got this sorted. Once this all gets built and delivered, signed, sealed, and delivered, we can start looking at things which I mentioned at the very beginning of the episode. You know, Gleba. So much of this infrastructure on Gleba is just to also make the plastic, and because the plastic goes into low density structures and red circuits, because you need the red circuits for the processing units, because you need the low density structures and the processing units to get back off the planet. So much of this can go now, and we can start thinking about actually getting the other sciences up to a higher number, because of course the only one we've done in earnest is Vulcanus, when we were grinding metallurgic science packs for low density structure productivity. This is finished. I need to... yeah, go on then. Just do some more mining productivity for a bit. Why not? Oh yeah, a brief little redesign of the tungsten upcycler. The original design... Have I changed this in the book? I have. The original design just wasn't cutting it. Mostly because this chest was becoming... If you outputted it straight onto the belt, it wasn't working because of the stack inserter thing. I did attempt that stack inserter trick with a clock that sets the stack size to be whatever the clock says, so that the stack size like periodically goes to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that the stack inserter swings if it's been waiting too long for something. But even that did not really do what I wanted. So I thought the best option was to just chain 2 sets of recyclers, right? So only 25% of what goes in here comes back out again. That's 8 a second. So then this is 25% of that, which is 2 a second. That will definitely fill this belt. And then obviously the legendary ones get spit out in the middle here if somehow you're lucky enough to get one. And so this is working a lot better. This is working a lot better. We're up to, yeah, over 500 legendary tungsten ore now, which we only need really for Speed Module Mark IIIs, and maybe Legendary Metallurgic Science packs a bit down the line, but of course Legendary Foundries and big mining drills will be extremely tasty when the time comes. Okay, somehow I still managed to make this 45 minutes, but thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please let me know with a like or a comment, and if you want to see more Factorio Space Age, be sure to subscribe. Again, sorry for the delayed episode, and once again, this is going to be uploaded late, so the HD processing might not be done by the time you watch this. Might not even be uploaded by half 2 at this rate, Jesus. But, you know, I am feeling good about the YouTubes these days. Don't mind doing it. Doesn't feel like a burden. It's just literally time just been getting away from me this last week or two. So thank you so much for your patience and sticking around and all the continued support. And hopefully when I've moved and stuff, it will be a brand new era of content creation for your boy. Haha. Alright, take care. Peace.